For right now, let's get a quick take on the Director of Colorado Transportation, Shaylin Batt, announcing he'll be stepping down effective in November. Batt will be heading up a D.C.-based transportation organization as he moves forward. Patty Calhoun from Westward. So in one report I saw that because Governor Hickenlooper is a short-timer at this point, that this seems pretty normal, but CDOT's a pretty important position right now with all the different projects going on. What's your reaction to this news?
Well, he had replaced Don Hunt, Hickenlooper's first transportation head. He came from a national post. That he's going back to a national post isn't a huge surprise. It looks like a good move for him, especially because who would want to be overseeing the start of the I-70 project, which is imminent?
It is indeed. David Kopel from the Independence Institute and DU Law School. When we see a transition like this and big project on the horizon, are you worried, or is it more about the staff that's probably going to be there regardless of the administration?
I think the latter, and certainly he has a lot of successes to his credit. He's got the US 36 express lanes, the mountain corridor on eastbound I-70, from roughly where US 40 joins it up to past Idaho Springs, and then an expansion of another express lane on the northern part of I-25. His biggest failure was this busting of, a heavily subsidized bus to like Denver and Colorado Springs. This busting carries fewer people in a year than one single lane of an interstate carries in a day.
Wow. Penfield Tate, an attorney with QTAC Rock, also a longtime state lawmaker. Based on that experience as a lawmaker, is this kind of departure to be expected regarding where we're at in Governor Hickenlooper's term?
Absolutely. When I noted that, first of all, congratulations to Shaylin, but this is a fellow who's pretty ambitious and he's got a career path in mind. So it's not at all surprising that he be one of the first of the cabinet officers to start leaving. You're going to see a steady exodus between now and the end of the Hickenlooper administration. Most of the cabinet officers now won't be there to turn out the lights, is my guess. They'll all flip into some other positions and move into the private sector or some other government position. Shaylin's just the first one to go, and he's probably the one with the fewest ties to Colorado. I mean, he came here from back east, he's going back east, and transportation's his area. So, yeah, we're going to continue to see this flipping over of cabinet officers. And David's right. What really matters is for a place like CDOT and others, the staff that remains is who you're really going to focus on now.
Ramsey Scott joins us from the Aurora Sentinel. So we're on the cusp of some pretty big projects for CDOT, but we're also on the cusp of probably a new governor, regardless of party, is going to bring in some new folks. Do you think we'll probably have an interim director between now and the end of 2018?
I think so, in part because Mike Lewis, the Deputy Executive Director of CDOT, is going to be taking over in November, and he's been with CDOT since, I believe, 2015. Given that you've got, maybe 13 months left, who wants to take that job to begin with? They're not going to be able to put a vision in. They know they'll be out of a job within 13 months. I see this as being left into the hands of Lewis, if only not just for political sort of realities of it, but you don't want to have someone come in when you're in the midst of all these projects. It just seems better to probably stay the course until Hickenlooper's done.